Alright, guys, welcome back for Chapter 5 of the Dragonstorm Crisis. It's Chapter 5, the Dragonstorm Crisis, a Shattered Kingdom story. 364 days until the Dragonstorm Crisis. Hendrik. Hendrik didn't know what to make of this. Any of this. Just a day ago, he was a simple orphan who, for him, the most exciting thing that had happened was sneaking out for combat training. Now he has found an actual dragon, saw said dragon kill his lifetime tormentor, got chased by some monsters, which was then murdered by some elf pledging her service to Hendrik, and to top it off, now some drow was emerging from the shadows, hoarding some sort of weapon Hendrik had never seen before. He had to guess that is what was used to kill that last monster, and he decided he did not want to ever find himself on the wrong side of that kind of firepower. My name is Luna. Legionnaire Luna. Are you Hendrik Storm? The drow asked Hendrik. She shouldered her weapon, but kept an eye on the elf. Hendrik heard about the enmity between elves and the drow, and was generally surprised these two were not killing each other on sight. He had heard that both races had been trying to wipe the other out since the fall of the Empire about 5,000 years ago. Did the drow say she was a legionnaire? Does that mean that she was one of Tregi's soldiers? Perhaps that meant she was a friend, considering she hadn't killed Hendrik and looted his corpse. He decided to trust her for the time being. Are you Hendrik Storm? The drow asked, again more empathetically. Hendrik couldn't help but feel worried at the hint of fear in her voice as she asked that question. Were the drow not supposed to be fearless killers and slavers? It's Hendrik, just Hendrik, drow, he responded as he picked up his sword once more. There were small indents in the blade where the monster had struck it. Hendrik would need to replace the blade sooner rather than later. He shuddered as he thought what might have happened had he not blocked that strike, mind flashing back to the overseer that had his head explode upon contact with that monster's fist. I have a name, you know. It is Luna, and you should use it. How would you like it if I called you human, huh? Well, in any case, I am looking to find a Hendrik Storm. If you point me in the right direction, towards the nearest settlement, I'll be on my way, and we can go our separate ways. The drow lady said as Hendrik went to point in the direction of Gishart. He saw smoke rising up from the horizon where the town should be. It's there by the smoke, he finally got out as he heard a whooshing sound by his head. He felt himself clutch the exhausted dragon in his hands as he ducked for cover. Burn, kill, raid, pillage! An orc screamed as several orcs descended into the area, charging Hendrik and his new companions. A few went down before they even got close. She only fired her bow and Luna her strange weapon. Despite their best efforts, Hendrik soon found himself fighting off 3 orcs on his own, and more were swarming to meet him. He slew one of the orcs before he took a hit. He was bleeding a little from his chest as he stood defiantly over his new dragon, and soon found he was not alone. Tregi stood in front of him and made quick, easy work of the other 2 orcs. And pulling a Brilliant javelin from her pack, she shouted, "Company, fire at will!" A hurl of Brilliant javelins flew towards the orcs, exploding with loud bangs on impact, felling many orcs. Get with the other civilians, Hendrik. You are now on guard duty. Get as many out as possible, Tregi said, as she and half a dozen Brilliants charged the orcs, who numbered in the dozens at this point. Covering arrow fire and covering javelin fire was laid by some more soldiers, as well as Luna and Janali. Hendrik soon found himself being led by one of the soldiers towards a group of scared children, the oldest being armed with simple bows and spears. Carrying the dragon under his arm, Hendrik, Luna, and Janali left with those soldiers, stopping only briefly to look back at Tregi. Half of her companions already lay dead around her, but for every one of them at least half a dozen orcs lay dead. I can't believe Gishard is gone, one of the children said as they moved as fast as they could. Occasionally some orcs would catch up to them as they traveled the 100 or so miles to the nearest city. They were slowly whittled down. Of the 100 soldiers and 500 children that had left Gishart, Hendrik now only counted 20 soldiers and 100 kids. Damn orcs had butchered anyone that they could get close to. The only consolation anyone had was that they were now safe behind city walls. I had a single orc prisoner whom, strangely enough, seemed to have been chased by the other orcs. The group lost nearly a dozen soldiers and twice as many kids in an orc attack. Let's try and take that orc lady. Who she was and why she was so important to Hendrik. Or why she was so important, Hendrik didn't know, but he hoped you'd be around to find out. I know it's hard to believe the recent events, children, but please gather around. The terror isn't quite over yet, one of the soldiers said. The children gathered around him curiously. Many still had fear all over their faces, many remembering the faces of their fallen friends. We will wait here for the captain. Until she returns, you are all officially a part of our mercenary company and under my protection. You help and support roles like cooking and cleaning. Those of you who can wield weapons will help us patrol the perimeter. I was able to negotiate a deal with the local governor. As long as we help defend and patrol this town, we will have access to this old abandoned inn to use as a base and get used to it. This might be our home for a while. When the captain returns, those who wish to remain with us may, as we return to Barul, but those who do not can stay here and serve as local scouts and guards. We will form a small permanent presence here to make sure you are all taken care of. We Barulians are heirs to the Empire, and to protect this people is our divinely ordained duty. You are all now Barulian by merit of spilled blood. Those who go with us to Barul should do so as full Barulian citizens, all the rights and war pay that entails. The soldiers went on before being barraged with several questions from the children. And that is the end of chapter 5. A bit longer than the previous 2 chapters, but that is about as far as I have written up to, and that is where we'll be ending our reading for now.